Okay, I'm back at Piedmont Arts for the third part of the show, and I'm here with Steve. I'm going to turn the microphone over to him so he can talk about his work.
Hey, Ms. Aleen, how are you? This was really interesting to put together. I was asked to put it together, and I started stained glass back in 2003. And that's a rendition of the piece that was the original first piece that I did. So that was Betty Blessing's idea to do that up there. It was kind of a neat intro into the
Yeah, it's
work.
a good idea, because that first piece is always special.
Yeah. And you look at it, compare a piece that I did compared to the last piece I did and see the difference from 2003 to 2025.
Let's go look at your work.
All right. That was, I just had an idea and a dream of a guardian angel, and did her infused glass and did it with, so you can see the texture in the 3D. When I did her the first time, I had to redo her twice because first time I made her too fat. And so I had to trim her down a little bit.
We don't want fat.
They didn't want a fat angel. This was a piece that I did just showing the 4 seasons of a single tree with the snowfall, and then the budding out and the blooms, and then full leaves in the summer, and then autumn, the leaves coming, and then starting to fall down, all that. There's the first piece that I did in 2003. It was a stained glass class at Hillcrest Baptist Church. Rebecca taught that class and so forth, and that was our very first piece that we did as a practice. So. Which is not bad work. But.
No.
And I love the Grinch. We've got a lot of Grinch items, plates, and so forth. So did that with the Grinch and the snowmen, and then Santa's sleigh over there with the Care Bears, the Boyd's Bears, I guess it is, sitting in there. And Christmas is always special, and I started giving the grandkids Christmas ornaments. So I had to start a list of what I had given them so that I don't duplicate. But the Grinch with the mask, I did that one in 2020 with COVID. Put his mask on him there and so forth, and did that. But we just did. Some years I do stained glass. Some days I do fused glass works and so forth, and I date them. And so someday it'll be. After I'm dead and gone, it'll be a memory for the star.
Thank you.
And that they'll have it as a memory when I'm dead and gone. So. But they're fun to do, and we have one tree that has all of our handmade ornaments on it. And I'm an alumni of Virginia Tech. I got my master's degree there, so I do a lot of Virginia Tech stuff, either decorate a snowman with Virginia Tech or something. I did a lamp years ago, the lampshade in that. This was a piece that I started using a combination of fused glass in with stained glass. The statue lady herself is fused glass, and there's 54 pieces of glass just in her. Some of the pieces are 3 layers thick, and she fused to really get the texture. And then I incorporated her into a stained glass piece. Michael Goddard's one of our favorite artists, and this is kind of inspired by him. I like old fashions. Jeannie likes margaritas. So I did the jalapeno peppers as people, kind of like Michael Goddard does the olive guy. So they're playing in the margarita, and my cherries in the old fashioned have the little hands, so they're in there. And I call this relaxing at a desert sunset in that. This is the last piece that I did, so you can see a difference between the very first piece and this piece. But this is a tuna out of the can, and it's again a combination of fused glass. His eye is fused. It's 3 pieces of glass fused together to make his eye. Then crossed above it is 2 fly fishing rods The one to the left has thread weave of a rainbow trout in the handle. It's 54 threads in the trout, and then it's about 5 to 6 hours of work right there, just weaving that in. And it's a laminate wood handle and so forth. It's a very pretty piece. The other one has, it's called marbling. It's a pigment that you put into the epoxy in different things. And I named this one Northern Lights for the way that it kind of blended in and looks like the Northern Lights is going across the sky and so forth. And I thought that turned out very pretty. That was a seashell piece that I did very early on. That's probably the third or fourth piece that I ever did and so forth in that. And, I like that blue glass way that it looked like the water ripples and flowing in it. In the Wild, that was a piece that I did when we had a house down at Myrtle Beach. In there, just a herring in there in the wild and looking up and so forth. And that was a very tedious piece and a fun piece to do. And then my wife wanted a piece with turtles in it, so I created this piece, the turtles racing up towards the top to the sun to get out and so forth, and just had fun doing that one. The tabletop was a little table that my wife had outside, and it had a plastic top on it, and it kind of, as it set out over time, kind of got brittle and cracked and so forth. So I redid a glass top with hibiscus leaves and a hummingbird. And this past summer, it sits out on our deck. And this past summer, we were sitting out there just enjoying the afternoon, and a hummingbird actually came down on it and was pecking at the bloom. So I said, well, that just shows that my flowers look pretty real. If I faked out a hummingbird, then I did pretty good. This was the second piece that I did in the class originally. So that was done in 2003. So it's very simplistic, straight line cuts and so forth and that.
Well, you've come a long way.
Well, thank you. I've had a lot of help along the way, and a lot of people like you teaching me and coaching me and helping me as we go through. So
let's get these.
Oh, okay. Did some jewelry pieces with some diacrylic and just cut out some pieces and in that, so that they turned out very well, and they're Jeannie, so she wears them every once in a while and so forth.
Yeah.
And she likes gnomes and plates, and the grandsons and all went to Bassett, so I did a lot of Bassett stuff and the sea life.
Well, Steve, thank you. This has been a fun
Oh,
interview.
thank you. Well, thank you. That's the same pattern, one fused and one stained glass.
Yeah. I'm a pretty girl.